Hi, everybody. Lara here from my studio at the Central Park Energy Center here in the heart of Manhattan. And today I want to share with you some love and some inspiration from my two friends. I call them the Soul Camp sisters. Michelle and Allie. And the reason I wanted to have them on the vlog this week and speak to you guys is because I've been so inspired by the way that they live their lives and actually run their business. Soul Camp was an amazing idea they had. How many years ago, guys?
5 years ago.
5 years ago, where they took a dream and created this unbelievable business. Can you guys just really quickly tell that story? Because it's such a good one about how dreams and passions can turn into incredible realities.
Yeah. Well, back in 2014, really 2013, Allie and I, we were best friends, and Allie and I went to camp together when we were 9 years old, 10 years old, 11 years old, really, kids, every single summer for 8 weeks. And when we found each other as adults, we were always in this camp energy. We were always in the camp spirit, and we each owned our own businesses in the wellness, mind, body, spirit, energetic space. And we had this idea. This idea came through us that it was, what if we could bring all of our amazing friends like you, Lara, our clients, our colleagues, all of these amazing instructors who are doing such transformational stuff, bring them to where we grew up, to our camp. And instead of soccer, tennis, basketball, we could have, chakra clearing, kundalini yoga, angelic circles, intermixed with all of the fun campy stuff like the talent show and Soul Olympics and trampolines and go-karts and rock walls, and really just bring all of our favorite people to our favorite place that we love so much, introduce everyone to camp.
And our mission with that really was to create a space and a home for anyone and everyone to come, to explore, to get into nature, to slow down, and to be accepted and loved exactly as they are. So we've created such a welcoming community, and that's the thing that I think we're most proud of, the community that we've built.
Yeah. And I have to say, I really remember you guys talking about the dream and the vision in the community, and you got excited about it. And I want to just bring this point up because you didn't really know what you were really doing in the beginning or how you were going to do it. You just had the dream and you talked about it. You talked about it with me. You talked about it with all your practitioner friends. You talked about it with the camp owner of the camp where you went when you were children, and he worked with you to make it happen. And so really, it all came from a dream and an idea and a feeling. And guys, that's the way you manifest. It's energetic. We all know, if you read my blog, you know that manifesting is all about getting your body and your brain and your central nervous system in alignment with the feelings that are associated with what you having what you want. And that's exactly what you guys did. Yeah. So Allie and Michelle are master manifestors. Soul Camp is the example of that, the glowing example of that. So for any of you guys out there that have a dream and that are going, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can do this, this is how you do it. They did it, so it's possible for you too. And I also really want to talk about the bigger picture that I see energetically now for Soul Camp, because every year that we go to Soul Camp, I'm surprised at what actually happens there. There's so many people that individually are having these major growth eureka moments that by the second day, I remember I went up the first time and I said, guys, do you know what actually has happened here? And you're like, what? I was like, you guys have created an energy vortex. And, for those people, I know, who knows what the heck an energy vortex is? An energy vortex is actually a spinning funnel of energy that really does, it's if higher frequency. So if molecules are spinning and moving together like this, at Soul Camp, they're moving together faster and with a greater intensity. And it actually increases the ability for manifestation and growth, positive growth, to occur in this environment. And I have to say, when I'm at Soul Camp, I can even think about people and then they wind up showing up. And it's a frequency thing. The same thing would happen to me when I went to see John of God in Brazil. So many people are healing in that very small area that it creates a higher frequency. So it's great for manifesting. It's great for personal growth. And it's created by you guys and all of us there working together to do it. So it's really quite magical. And what I'm getting present to too is it's not only magical for us individually, but it's magical for our country and our world and our planet, because all that positive energy really gets really kind of sucked back into the earth. And the earth right now so needs all of our attention and positive energy. Right now, we're going through a period where there's a lot of darkness that's coming out. I feel like our world and our country has sort of been shaken up like this. And it's almost as if any of the darkness that's been like hiding in corners or, under tables, under wraps, is really being exposed, but it's being exposed in the light. And I know that a lot of my clients lately are coming in, they're really upset about things and worried for the future. And I just want to invite us all to zoom out. And really the same way that you guys were able to have a dream and really manifest it, not knowing how it was going to happen, we can all come together and manifest our dream for our world, our country, and our future. And know that what is happening right now, while it's upsetting, and we are in the upset that I would say creates access and change and growth. So nothing changes, I don't think, and you guys can weigh in on this too, without an upsetting event. It's like often we don't just change things in our lives and work harder or move away from the familiar if there's not something wrong, right? So upset and bringing this darkness up is going to create a really fabulous change. So, I know people come to Soul Camp all the time and they've got goals. Like they've got like some upsetting part of their life that they tell you that they want to change. And you guys actually invite people to bring intentions to Soul Camp. So what's one of your best stories about somebody that like had this huge epiphany and really made a huge difference in their life because of Soul Camp?
We've had so many, because at this point, Lara, this is crazy. 2,500 people we've counted have been to Soul Camp.
2,500 people around the bonfire.
Isn't that amazing?
Wow. It is amazing. It's really amazing.
It's
really amazing.
And this is actually, Lara, we haven't even discussed this, but I'm sure you got our email. This is the last camp that we're going to be doing this year. These are the last camps. They're going to be in a different form, but I just want everyone who's listening, who's ever thought of coming to Soul Camp, for this to be the year that you come. But one story that stands out is a camper who kind of didn't really necessarily know exactly what was overwhelming her in her life. She just like knew that it wasn't working. So she needed a rest. She needed a break. Her friend told her about Soul Camp. She was a counselor. She was like, come. She immediately signed up. She was on the bus and she happened to be in this relationship that was, What were you going to say?
No, go on.
She was in a relationship that was really draining on her. She was the caretaker. She was really focused on her partner. And on the bus, on the way up, he called her, was needing her in the same way, the same pattern that they've always had. She was on the phone and she was like, oh my God, I need to be at Soul Camp. I need to be here. She gets off the bus. At the opening meeting, she asked herself, she was like, should I open up? Should I share what's going on? This is feeling so heavy. I want to focus on myself. And she opened up and she said that first night, she woke up in the middle of the night. Like at 3 a.m., she like jumped out of her bed and she was like, I feel more connected to the girls in my bunk than I do to my partner. She's like, this is intimacy. This is love. Mm. And that, Lara, she has changed everything. She said without a diet, she's now taking care of herself. We watch her on Facebook. She's cooking.
Amazing.
She's lost 70 pounds.
Since
no
last
diet.
year.
Guys,
no diet.
No diet.
Wow.
She ended up leaving that relationship. Not that that's right for everyone, but for her, she did. And she's found love, a whole new love. And she's like, oh my God. She said her boss is telling her she's glowing. Her friends are just like, what's happening to you? She's going to yoga classes. She's reaching out to soul campers in each city she goes to because she travels for work. It's like that one shift of like, oh, it can feel like this. That's what I think Soul Camp gives you, because we don't even know how good it can be.
Yeah.
That's what I really feel.
And I need to talk about that for a second, because that is the piece when we're really manifesting. and you guys did it, you didn't know people were going to have these kinds of reactions and epiphanies. Okay. You didn't know the community was going to explode like this. And this is the thing, when you really just get excited about the potential of it, the universe will bring in all of these other people. The universe will bring in all these opportunities and possibilities. And then you wind up creating something that's beyond your wildest dreams. Yeah. And I just want to say, guys, the energy that you just felt when Allie was telling the story, this could be the energy for you, and it also could be the energy that we create for our country and our world. So let's just, zoom out, okay? Seriously, like if you're able to feel what it feels like to be seen, to be appreciated, to know that your growth and your development is really, really important to you and to the people around you, what's possible? And it's interesting because what we're seeing right now in our society, and I think it's as a result of what is going on, the darkness coming up, we are seeing high school students who are coming out and like really, I mean, I can't imagine their own personal growth journeys as they are standing up to really get guns out of the schools and to create different laws that will really prohibit people that shouldn't have guns from having guns. And it's amazing to see them do this. What did this come out of? This came out of a huge, hurtful, horrible upset. And look at the personal growth and the change and the message and the inspiration that these kids are really giving the world as a result of this. When we look at the Me Too movement as well, we're seeing women who now finally, in some cases after years and years and years of not being able to face the pain and not being able to face this thing that's happened to them, be able to process it, speak up, and really face their perpetrators and speak their truth and feel protected and empowered doing it. It's huge. And so we're seeing all of these different groups actually find the strength and courage within themselves to actually speak their truth, but not only that, inspire others to do the same. And I just see such a parallel with Soul Camp. What an incredible story you just told me. Michelle, you look like you want to say something. Do you want to say something more?
Yeah. Like I keep being at the wanting to say what's coming to me, which is just like plants, right? Plants grow underground. Plants grow in the darkness, right? And as a country, as a community, as a society, it's a dark period right now, and that is just like what you're saying, where so much growth,
fertile ground.
Yeah, exactly. Where so much growth happens, and places like Soul Camp, places like John of God, places like spaces and places like that is the fertile ground.
Yes, and it's the fertile ground. And what's really interesting is you bring me into the next topic I want to discuss, which is I do really believe that part of what is happening is also a shift with yin and yang energies. I think that for a long, long time now, we honor so much the yang, the action, how are you going to go out there and take action? How are we going to go and make something happen and do something in our world? And, more yin energies, resting, going inward, processing your feelings, in the Chinese meridian system, the whole digestive process is yin, and a lot of people's digestive systems and their sleep cycles are all out of balance because we're so overly yang right now. And we've got a president that's overly yang, and I'm just going to say for all these movements that even have yang qualities to them, where they're going out and they're speaking, it took a lot of yin processing in order for them to be able to go out and do what they're doing right now, whether it be the Me Too movement or, these children, they have to be able to go inside and process their emotions, feel them, and then be able to decide what they want to say and how they're going to speak their truth doing it. So they're having yin moments as well. And, Michelle, when you talk about the roots and they're growing in the darkness, yin energy is the moon cycle. It is nighttime. It is when you replenish, restore, and really, really process. And I don't think we give ourselves enough time in our society to really do that. And I will say Soul Camp is a weekend designed for you to go and do that for yourself. And actually, my secret is all of us instructors, we go to teach, but I actually come back to soul camp every year for myself. So I can do that. It's my time to do that and to take all these fabulous classes of all these instructors, because they have great instructors there. And, I've met some people that I work with actually now, like Natalie Berthold, who does family constellation therapy. Family constellation therapy has changed my life. I have to say, yoga is something I still want to incorporate into my life, but I get to do it at Soul Camp like every day, and I love it. Also, dance parties. When do I get to go to dance parties? I get to go to dance parties like, every day at Soul Camp. How cool is that? And it's really pretty a wonderful place to really reinforce yin energies. And you guys have also done an amazing job of taking Soul Camp philosophies like yin nourishment, and you've incorporated it into the way you work. And I really want to just you guys to talk about that a little bit more, because I really do believe when we're talking about this energy in our country and in our world, about yang energy and how, we go, do. That's why a lot of us are getting sick, like I said, having these issues with digestion and sleep, and there is another way. And when you guys and all of us can start incorporating more yin activities in our lives and do our work in another way, we can be more available to actually consciously be the change we want to see in the world, which is what you guys are also doing. So I want you guys to kind of run through how you have changed the way you approach working on Soul Camp, how you approach your business day, because you really have brought nourishing the yin self into the way that you work, and you practice what you preach. So share a little bit about that for us.
We've definitely practiced what we preach. I would also say this is something that we also have we're practicing it because we've come up against the opposite, right? Like, we've burnt ourselves out. I've gotten disease from being way too yang, right? Yang and yin. Yeah. We have learned to balance our own yin and yang with each other. Yeah. This is definitely a growing edge, but it's something we're always really conscious of.
So tell me what actually happened to you. How did you get adrenal fatigue? How did it manifest? How did you feel?
I felt exhausted. I came to you, Lara. Remember during that time? I mean, I had severe gallbladder infection, gallbladder removed. I mean, I've all the things, but my body is so sensitive that it tells me to slow down. So now, I got to that point of exhaustion, and then I had another diagnosis of type 1 diabetes, which that was my okay, we're done. I'm listening now, because I know what will happen if I continue this way. Yeah. And what has shifted is that now I can feel and hear when my body's too much. It's this you're moving into overdrive. I can feel when I'm using reserves that I don't have, and I do my best to stop and be okay, my mind wants me to continue working right now, but I actually need to just lie on my bed and chill. Or I need to go outside and go for a walk with Michelle. Or I need to cancel this meeting and say, we're going to do that tomorrow. And it's interesting, that battle that happens. Even we just we're doing the schedule for Soul Camp East, and there was this internal check-in, just check into our intuition of with the placement of things and the constellation of all of it. And then we hit a point of okay, we could do this part for another 20 minutes, or we could go walk back slowly to go meet you. Before we would have been okay, we have 3 minutes, get here, and it was okay, we have 20 minutes, we're gonna walk back to my apartment. We got to come onto this interview in a whole different state. And it's really being conscious of it doesn't have to be so hard. It doesn't have to be so hard.
Yeah. So I want to just go back for the people out there. Cause you said you have these internal check-ins. What is a sign physically that lets you know you're too young?
Okay. It feels pushing my heart. Maybe my heart's racing a little bit. I'm not breathing. Yeah, I'm not breathing. My heart's racing. I'm just really, I feel tired, and I'm I'm going to push through this. It's this
the need to push, push
feeling. And then, it's even sometimes I would do that when my mind would be so tired, and I'd just be I got to keep working. Then it's it's not making sense. It's actually not efficient. Like,
no, yeah. And this is the thing. I literally wrote a blog a couple weeks ago about, are you addicted to the hustle? And, some signs, you just named a lot of the signs that we talk about, like when you feel you're not getting full deep breaths and you're breathing shallowly, or if your voice has a tendency to be really up high, like a Mickey Mouse voice, your central nervous system is probably overwhelmed a bit. And it's interesting because a while ago, I know More Magazine doesn't even exist anymore, but they had an article about energy efficiency. And when you are just working, they actually did studies. I don't know who did them at this point, but they were, done by universities, but they were reputable studies that were done that really showed about the amount of time that people can work on one thing. And it really was about 90 minutes. And then they are like, yeah, that's for about how long we were. So you guys have 90-minute work intervals?
I mean, you know what's interesting? We do. I have to say, I've been trying to work at this for years, and I hear that intellectually and wasn't able to be like, okay, like my mind as an overachiever still wanted to like put as much in the day as possible. But like, it just doesn't, now that I'm like listening to my body, it just doesn't work. So like, yeah, I think we kind of have like chunks of the day that we work. And then even I want to say on this thing I mentioned, and we don't have to go all into this, but how we're kind of taking a pause from Soul Camp to have that fertile ground to recreate and see what form it comes in. Yeah. So on a larger scale, we're giving ourselves that time because we have been in Yang for 5 years, right? And there is a new way. We don't know what it is yet. We're giving ourselves the opportunity to have that pause. And I think if we look at that, not just like during our day, but our cycle of our business, like we're giving that opportunity to be in the yin for ourselves and our community, because we need to do it too.
Yeah, I was going to say, really the biggest thing I think that Soul Camp has changed for us was the ability to take a step back in that way from the business as a whole, to really just take a step back and follow the ease and follow the flow and follow the fertile ground, right? And have the courage and the inspiration to create anew and create anew and create anew. I mean, I think that's a huge gift of Soul Camp.
Yeah. Well, it's like
Soul
on
Camp
the
lifestyle.
On the macro level, that same feeling, how I said, like, it feels like we're pushing, it started to feel like that with Soul Camp. We were like, nope, that's never gotten us anywhere.
Yeah.
And we need to refuel to be able to come back and create.
Yeah.
Right. And so I just want to just clarify what that means for people. So like refueling really means like stopping and doing something else, right? So like, what do you guys do when you're in a creative, like refueling mode? Like, what's the kind of stuff that you do?
I mean, on a smaller level, like when we start to, what it will take form of like me and Allie start to like kind of not go, like energetic. We say like energetic fights. Like we like energetically start to like butt heads, like energetically.
You know what? It's another sign. That's another, because I just want to point that out. So if you find yourself, you're like agitated easily, you're probably over young, right? And your central nervous system is overstimulated. So another sign. So you guys start to butt heads. So then what do you guys do together? So this is more like the mini level. Like, what do you do during your day? Allie just said you took a walk. Do you guys do that? Like, just let's go take a walk.
We take a lot of walks.
We take walks. We just say like, let's stop. And then
sometimes we'll like put on Bravo.
Yeah.
Like sometimes we'll just stop what we're doing and take a break. And that break could be go out in nature. That break could be get nice coffee. That break could be watch Bravo and numb out like in that way.
Or like just talk about life, like not business.
Like move into friendship mode. Like like that.
Yeah,
that
we
break
really do that.
Yeah, we really do. And like.
And what I wanted to say is they're all yin activities. Yeah. Okay. They're actually getting outside in nature is a very great way to replenish and restore. And it actually activates an energy system called your radiant circuits. And radiant circuits connect actually meridians and chakras, and they can balance your energy system. So when you're over young, they can get you back in. I've actually seen that clinically in my office. So you go in nature, you maybe nourish yourself with some food, you have a girl conversation that's going to help you feel like your needs and your heart's needs are being met. So, or you watch a Bravo show that's going to also fill you up with a little love, right? Yeah. So this is awesome.
Yeah.
Or you what?
You pull cards or like meditate, like also that stuff for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Like the stuff you learn at Soul Camp, right? So it's really, that's awesome. So that's what you do in your day. And then when you guys are looking to really be creative and create a new baby of sorts, right? You take longer, and maybe what do you do then? Like, do you just take time? Like, what does that look like?
Well, we don't really know yet. I mean, like, yes, we take time. We're going to take time. I mean, we still have our other, so we're not completely taking time away from working all together. We still have another business that we love, Soul Camp Creative, which is our branding agency, which is thriving and full steam ahead. But yeah, taking time fully away, giving ourselves the space, giving ourselves the container, giving ourselves the tabula rasa, empty slate to really create anew without any pressure, without any fear, without anything, really just like the empty space to create.
And we're like dreaming right now, which is really fun. Like we're talking about it and then we're like, okay. And then we let it go. We're like, we don't need to decide until like we're kind of giving ourselves to the end of the year. We're like, we don't need to decide anything. We'll know when we know, but it's also fun to talk about. But yeah, we're outside more, like for sure. We're like working down on the river, on Hudson River all the time. You should come join us, Lara.
Yes.
We're like we're being outside so much this summer. Like you asked how was my summer. I'm like, I'm outside all the time, which I love.
Yeah. And I mean, I have a newborn, I have a 4-month-old. So like I find myself playing all the time, starting like at 6 a.m. I'm like singing and like
4:30 this morning.
But like in a playful mode of like making up songs and like getting on my hands and knees and like making funny faces. Like that's a huge part of my day now. Even like when I check in for 20 minutes at home, like I'm making a funny face, you know? So it's like,
I just have to say, like, I mean, you guys are really living it. You're living a yin lifestyle. And I just want to say, for getting up at 4:30 in the morning, you actually look really amazing. Like, look at you. You actually look rested. And, you know, a lot of it's probably the way you approach your work. And I also just want to point out, you guys are actually doing the manifesting recipe again that you did to create Soul Camp in the first place.
Exactly.
So you're dreaming and letting it go. You're dreaming, handing it over to the universe. And I want to give everybody this image because, I mean, gosh, everything we talked about was so helpful. But even just right now, if everybody that's watching could just practice this, like this idea, getting excited about what could be possible. Okay, when we're in upset, and Abraham Hicks talks about this all the time. You know, they're like they're one of the first people to ever talk about the law of attraction and how it works. And they say it works with 3 steps. Number 1 is that, you know, you want something and you ask the universe for what you want. Okay. And the second step is that you got to really hand it over to the universe. It's not your job to create it. It's the universe's job, right? And the third step is to be in the receiving mode of having what you want come true. And the way that you be in the receiving mode is by feeling the feelings around already having it. Because if you feel fear when you say what you want, then you're actually at a frequency that's working against your desires. It's literally like the fear is pulling back as you're going, no, I want that, I want that. So it's literally like you're pulling everything backwards. So you guys are actually doing that. So I want to invite everybody right now just to think about, you know, maybe what could come out of this dark period. Like in our society right now, like think about, you know, we have these upsetting moments and what could come out of this? I mean, I just want to give you an idea. I mean, Oprah was talking about running for the presidency. Like, you know, it looks like she's not really going to do it because I don't think it would be great for her personally, you know, but like, wow, if somebody like that could think about it now, that's kind of exciting. Like this is the potential. We have no idea what is possible in our future as a result of what's happening now. And, you know, who knew Me Too movement was going to happen? Who knew these children were going to be speaking out against, you know, gun violence? And who knew that Soul Camp was going to become as big as it is, you know? So when you think about this, who knew that when they came to Soul Camp, they were going to have that kind of a life transforming experience? So I want you guys, everybody out there, to think about like what could be possible for you, you know, let's just say in 2 years. Think about like what you might want your life to look like, you know, if it was happening in its ideal state. And honestly, just close your eyes for a second and just think about like what you see in your life if like a dream came true. And don't even think about what the dream is, but just think about what you see. And then I want you to think about like, okay, what do you hear in your life if something really juicy came true for you? And then think about what you feel as it's happening. And remember, it happens with feelings. So now if that feeling was a color, what color would it be? And if that feeling had a temperature, what temperature would it be? And now take a deep breath into that color and into that temperature, and whatever shape it is, I want you to think of that breath, expanding it through your body, It's getting bigger. And then as you exhale, it releases, and you exhale your air out into your universe, and know that that color is going out there. We're going to do 2 more breaths. Breathe into that color and that shape and that temperature. And as you exhale, let it go out into the universe. And one more time, breathe it in. Expand it beyond your body, beyond your earth field. And as you exhale, really exhale it out to the universe. And you're going to imagine that the universe has got all these conveyor belts, and it's taking that feeling and it's taking it in many different directions out beyond you into the universe, into the future. And now you don't have to do anything, but just know that it's being handled. And then open up your eyes, everybody. And then all you have to do is do it again. And know that it's going out there into the universe. And it's that simple. And so I want to thank you guys so much for being with me today. We covered so many different topics. And like, wow, I just want everybody out there to see, like, you know, dreams can, what is the Disney thing? Dreams can come true. Remember the
True. Period.
Dreams can come true, period. But, you know, you think about this and it's like, that's exactly what you guys did. You just had a dream and you didn't know how it was going to happen, and you made it come true. And now you're dreaming again, and it's going to come true in a whole new way. And each and every one of you out there can do this too. So I so hope, if any of you have been before, you come back again to Soul Camp. If you've never been, join us, because I'm just kind of, I'm actually a little bit like, I'm trying not to get into the upset over it, but like, what do you mean? It's not going to be like, you know, yoga on the lawn every day. It's not going to be intense sati, you know, on the lawn. It's not going to be the fire burning ceremony, or like being able to jump in the lake, or like ride the floaty unicorn. It's not going to be that. Oh no.
Floaty unicorn. Yes. I want to say too, because I talked to a couple of people at your workshop last week, there are a lot of things that come up when you think about coming to Soul Camp. Like, okay, do I want to be in a bunk with people? Can I take off? Our Soul Camp East is Friday through Sunday, August 24th to 26th.
And I kind of love that, actually. I love that it's so, because I have to tell you, everybody, like, you know, I see everybody by the second day is like, you've experienced so much, your cup is full. It is a full cup after the second day. And like, you know, after that, people, yes, they get to the rest and stuff, but honestly, like, you're done with personal growth after the second day.
Yeah. And we are restoratively cramming it all in.
Yes.
In a restorative way.
Yes.
Yes. And so, I mean, I just think it's the perfect time, and I'm so excited about the link this year. And I also am going to just say too, it's great that people that can come that, you know, have a work restriction. The bunk thing I wanted to say, that's actually the nighttime bunk conversations are actually some of my highlights from camp.
I just want to say, like, what I wanted to say was, like, have an open mind. Like, I know that might not be like, okay, like, this is what I would want to do, but like, be open to the fact that might actually be a good thing, that isn't what you're normally wanting, right? Like, that it's really freaking awesome what happens. And like, we had a camper once who said, like, okay, I love the content of Soul Camp. Before I went, I had to be like, okay, there's going to be a format that, like, I'm not used to, but I'm just going to let that go with the content. She was like, the format ended up being unbelievably perfect.
And speaking of also letting go, I know that a lot of people who watch your blog, Lara, like, are teachers in their own right, and just wanted to say a note. We get a lot of just like conversation around like, oh, I want to go to Soul Camp, but like, I don't want to go as a camper. I definitely would only go as a teacher. Give yourself permission to let that go also. Yeah. Give yourself permission to let the ego side of that conversation go, and give yourself the gift of really coming and enjoying and discovering what's there for you. If you feel that nudge, if you feel that soul's whisper of like, this is something, especially being the last year, like, this is something that like I really am interested in exploring. Give yourself the gift of letting go of that notion of like, I can only come as a teacher. I can only come as an instructor.
And our teachers like come because, like Lara just said, they come because they want to be students. So no one, we really say like everyone's equal. This isn't just for beginners on a spiritual path, or, you know, like if you've been seeing Lara for a long time, like, this is your place. Like, it's for everyone and anyone. Come refuel. Like, our instructors tell us they're seasoned practitioners who have been doing this work for 20 years. And they're like, I just had this amazing idea, and it's because of Soul Camp.
Yeah. So awesome. Well, after all that, I just hope you guys come, and it'll be lots of fun. And and so I look forward to it. And I really wait, what?
Yeah, and Lara, post your link below.
Oh, I will, because you guys get $100 off with my link, darlings.
$100 off.
Darlings, you get a discount, so use my link. And I really look forward to seeing you guys really soon and giving you like hugs and seeing you.
Me too.
It's going to be so good.
It's going to be so good. So I look forward to that. And yay. Anybody have any questions about Soul Camp, just write to me and I'm happy to answer them.
Thanks,
Love and energy and power and
Lara. Bye.
empowerment to everybody.